This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Rolla. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, another young man taken before the court today for the murder of Barry and Sheena Johnson. The couple was shot to death at their home in Holmes Rock on September 13th. Early last week, 4 persons were charged and are currently on remand awaiting trial for the double murder. Today, a 5th person was arraigned on similar charges. Joan Davis-Roll was there.
Tuesday's crowd was a stark contrast to the multitude of persons who turned out to see the 4 young men who initially stood accused of the tragic shooting of Holmes Rock couple Barry and Sheena Johnson. The 5th man charged arrived under heavy police escort Tuesday morning amid a human quadrant formed in the area, consisting of armed law enforcement officers who strategically stood watch in and around the perimeter of the 8 Mile Rock Magistrates Court. Once on the inside, 26-year-old Kevin Dames of Holmes Rock came face to face with the family members of the slain couple. The mother of Sheena Johnson shook her head in disbelief at one point and was overtaken with emotions as she fell back in her seat and was given a drink of water as she struggled to gain her composure. The accused man, who wore a bulletproof vest over a gray and black striped polo-type shirt, blue pants and black shoes, entered the prisoner's dock. Kevin Dames stared in the distance as Magistrate Gwen Claude read the charges, which stem from Saturday, September 12th of this year. Dames is charged with armed robbery. It is alleged that the accused, being concerned with others and armed with a handgun and a rifle, robbed Barry and Sheena Johnson of a set of keys valued at $6 and a GMC truck valued at $8,000. Then came additional charges, 2 counts of murder. It is alleged that Dames, being concerned together with others, caused the deaths of Barry and Sheena Johnson. Dames, who was not represented by counsel, was not required to enter a plea. Magistrate Claude informed him that a preliminary inquiry will be held. Dames now joins co-accused 22-year-old Alan Asim, 22-year-old Devon Hall, Virgil Hall of Columbus Drive, Freeport, and 29-year-old Paul Belazaire, all who were previously charged and remanded to the Department of Corrections. A preliminary inquiry is set for December 3, 2015 at 10 a.m. Magistrate Claude denied bail, and Dames was also remanded to the Department of Corrections. Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
Barry and Sheena Johnson were laid to rest this past weekend, almost 2 weeks after they were gunned down at their home. It was standing room only at the church as hundreds turned out to pay respects to the Johnsons, who were well known in their district.
Family, friends, colleagues, students of the 8 Mile Rock High School, and members of the community gathered to celebrate the life and legacy of Barry and Sheena Johnson at the Church of God of Prophecy on Call Road. It was an emotional time for family members as they bid farewell to the couple described as quiet, hard-working, and well-mannered individuals. The Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama, Obi Wolchcombe, was in attendance. He says Barry and Sheena Johnson should be remembered as good people who contributed to the growth and development of the community.
Both would want us today to use this occasion as a teachable moment, where we must now begin to understand that our nation is beset by hate, and we must move that away from our nation. Move that away from our communities, take it out of our mouths. What we must do now is start a campaign of love, a campaign for peace. And so we have to call on the Prince of Peace. We have to call on Jesus, because it's now time for us to change our direction. And we're not going to do it unless we determine, each one of us, that we have a responsibility. And that responsibility is to ourselves, our communities, our families. We must ensure that we're not leading a path that will cause more destruction.
The Minister for Grand Bahama, Dr. Michael Darville, also paying his respects at the homegoing service and expressing concern about the level of violence.
But it really brings to the forefront the need for the government to work closely in communities to ensure that incidents like this one do not happen again. We stand with the Johnson family with this tragic moment that is taking place in the Holmes Rock community.
Friends of Barry and Sheena Johnson turned out in large numbers, all saddened by the brutal slayings.
Me and Barry went to school together. He's a good classmate of mine, one of my close friends, basketball and all, and he's always a nice person.
He was a very quiet person. He stick to himself. he's going to be sadly missed.
Nice a person you cannot find. You know, never quarrel, never do anything, always willing to help, always willing to uplift the younger people in the community.
When you have someone like this that has such a peaceful and a humble personality, you just don't expect him to die so violently.
Loving, caring, he will give us heart, he give us all things.
Following the service, the couple was laid to rest at the Holmes Rock Public Cemetery. It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Italia. Well, the man shot and killed on Hudson Avenue last week has been identified as 35-year-old Antonio Miller, a.k.a. Toe of East Beach Drive. Miller was gunned down outside an apartment complex while visiting a friend in that area. Reports say police are following significant leads into that case and are urging anyone with more information that could help with the investigation to contact the nearest police station. And tonight, police on Grand Bahama have issued a bulletin for 27-year-old Fabian Livingston Roll, a.k.a. PJ. Roll, who resides in Garden Villas and number 70 Nelson Road, is wanted for questioning on the charge of murder. Police say Roll is about 6 feet 1 inch in height, weighing between 150 to 160 pounds, dark brown complexion, and slim build. He is considered extremely dangerous and should be approached with caution. Now, if you have any information concerning his whereabouts, police say you can contact them at telephone numbers 367-2560, 367-3437, or in Grand Bahama at the Central Detective Unit at telephone numbers 350-3107-12, 911-919, or call your nearest police station. And over in Abaco, the search is on for 3 men who are wanted by the authorities on that northern island. The first suspect is 24-year-old Archelaus Cooper of Cooperstown. He is said to be around 5 feet 6 inches, all brown complexion and average built. He is wanted for shop breaking in Abaco. The second suspect is 28-year-old Drew Albury of Marsh Harbor. Now, he is about 6 feet 1 inch tall, brown complexion and average build. He is also wanted for shop breaking. And 23-year-old Shaquille Fox is the third suspect, and he is wanted on housebreaking charges as well. His address is listed as number 14 Brahma Drive, Grand Bahama. He is wanted for shop breaking in Abaco and is about 5 feet 6 inches in height, brown complexion with average build. Now, police say these men should be approached with caution. If you have any information as to their whereabouts, you should contact police in Abaco at 367-2560, 367-3437, or in Grand Bahama, 350-3107-12, 911-919, or call your nearest police station. Meantime, police on Grand Bahama are investigating an apparent hit-and-run accident that has left pedestrian nursing injuries. Reports say the female was reportedly walking along a Beachway Drive around noon on Saturday when she was struck by a vehicle and the driver fled the scene prior to the arrival of the police. Now, the female pedestrian is currently hospitalized and police say that she is in stable condition. And police officials are asking anyone who can assist them with locating the driver of that vehicle to contact them at telephone numbers 350-3153 or 350-3151, 911-919, or contact the nearest police station. Switching gears now, a pilot and 5 passengers escaping serious injuries early this morning when the pilot was forced to make an emergency landing at the Grand Bahama International Airport. Reports say the pilot and passengers were en route to Freeport from Abaco when the white, gray, and blue Piper Aztec aircraft began experiencing problems with its landing gear. The aircraft incurred damage while landing at the Grand Bahama International Airport. Investigations are continuing. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. A Bahamian-based company continuing to invest in the youth of Grand Bahama. Bahamas Striping is seeking to renovate any neighborhood or school basketball court. But President Atario Mitchell says you would have to do your part to qualify.
Take a picture of their basketball court, upload it to our company Facebook page, and give a brief description on why your basketball court needs a makeover. And what we intend to do is to spend up to $25,000 to actually reseal the parking lot, restripe the parking lot in the colors of the Bahamian flag. And that promotion is only for Grand Bahama only. So we encourage persons in the community to take a picture of their basketball court, upload it to our Facebook page, and give us a brief description on why their court need a makeover.
And just why did he decide to do this? Well, he says it is all about giving back.
We just thought about this about 2 days ago. So we wanted to do something to give back, and we didn't want to just pick a basketball court. So we wanted to get the actual community involved and let them tell us what their courts mean to them, and then we will put everything together and we'll decide on which court we're going to make over.
Now you can just search Bahama striping or the dollar that could on Facebook and send your request. And it has been months in the making, but the 8 Mile Walk High School now has a fully functioning Alumni Association. President Micah Hepburn says there has been many distractions and pitfalls along the way, but the executive board is in place and they are committed to the positive development of the student, staff, and institution. Hepburn says the school has a rich legacy and those who have benefited must do their part to ensure its continued success.
Time really has come for us as parents, teachers, students, and community leaders to rally together and to be a part of the solution and not the problem of the issues facing our students at the 8 Mile Rock High School. I believe and convinced that if each one of us can positively affect one student at this local institution, then I believe that we would have done greatness in our community. And besides that, I feel the time has come for us alumni to begin to give back to the school, to those teachers and those principals and those leaders who would have helped us to be who we are today and what we are today. It is time for us to give back.
Hepburn says since its establishment, the Alumni Association has launched the Mother Blue Jay Away to a Deserving Student. This award, named in honor of former principal, the late Sandra Edgecombe, is given to Kobe Ferguson. The association would like to continue to reward outstanding students at 8 Mile Walk High School, but they say financial support is needed. A number of fundraising initiatives are planned. School principal Ivan Butler is urging all former students to give back to that institution.
This school has a rich history. Our records indicate that it was established in 1851, and so the alumni of this great institution is larger than any other school, we think, in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And so we're calling on all alumni as far back as possible to come, lend their support. 8 Mile Rock needs you, I need you, and the entire student population of the 8 Mile Rock High School is in need of your support.
Now, former students wishing to join the association can contact the school. And tomorrow marks the end of the Prostate Cancer Observance Month. But tonight, one woman is encouraging men to continue to have their checks and screenings, as she says she has seen firsthand how early detection could mean the difference between life and death. Hundreds of men on Grand Bahama were recently screened at the Us Two Men Prostate Cancer Screening annual event. Prostate cancer is a disease that continues to plague many men on Grand Bahama. And while the event only takes place once a year, widow Carol Roll, who lost her husband to the disease, knows firsthand why it is important for men to have this screening done.
I lost my best friend, my boss, my husband from this dreaded disease in 2006. What was so alarming to me, when he was first diagnosed, he was in the advanced state.
She says many times sympathy is given to the person who is battling the disease, but family members are also adversely affected. This is why, she said, men must be proactive in taking care of their bodies and fighting not just for their lives, but also for family members that may be impacted.
I'm saying this to you. If you be proactive and take the opportunity to get your screening done, you have a better chance of survival. My husband did not have that. And I want to say to you, I am grateful for the Us Two Men because they are here to inform, they are here to educate you on this disease.
And with the high number of persons being diagnosed with the disease, she says screenings must be taken seriously.
Your health is in your hands. You are accountable to yourself and to your families. You do not know the effect that losing a loved one will have on the family. The grief, the pain, the suffering, the agony, the bitterness that one goes through is unbearable.
She's giving this advice.
Take the opportunity to get your screening done. You have a better chance of survival.
And now it's time to ask the doctor.
Hi, I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. Today I will conclude my discussion on hypertension. And once again, I would like to thank Sammy from Nassau for such a timely question. Many people never discover the direct cause for their high blood pressure, but any of the following risk factors can greatly increase the likelihood of developing hypertension. These include increase in age, Black race, as high blood pressure is particularly more common among blacks and often develop at an earlier age than it does in whites, family history, being overweight and obese, not being physically active, using tobacco which can damage the lining of your arteries and can cause narrowing, too much salt or too little vitamin D in your diet, drinking too much alcohol which can damage your heart, having more than 2 drinks a day for men and more than 1 drink a day for women may affect your blood pressure, stress which can lead to a temporary increase in blood pressure, some chronic illnesses such as kidney disease and sleep apnea, and sometimes pregnancy. Do some of these risk factors seem to apply to you? Please visit your local clinic for a blood pressure check. If you have a question or concerned about your health, please post it at PHA Bahamas on Facebook or email askthedrbahamas@gmail.com. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Stay with us. Sabrina Brown has a check on sports when we return.
Good evening and welcome to sports, everybody. I'm Sabrina Brown. The Grand Bahama Tennis Association held its first annual round-robin junior tournament at the Grand Lucayan Tennis Courts over the weekend. Kimberly Mullings reports.
Despite the weather, the Grand Bahama Tennis Association's round-robin junior tournament went on. Ashwood Allen Hall, Vice President of the GBTA, says the newly elected board has a few mandates, which include hosting a series of tournaments and clinics throughout the year. They were pleased that the first one was a success.
We're here to provide opportunities to give the children chances to develop their skills and also to see different styles of play, different levels of play, and it's all in their development.
Hall says the GBTA hosted the round robin as a warm-up for the annual Focal Junior Tennis Tournament and a number of other tournaments before nationals to keep the players focused.
In the end, it's all about their development. It's all about, the foundation that you lay, and you're just giving them a chance to play, just play as much as they can.
The group of roughly 26 junior tennis players was placed into 3 pools based upon their skill levels for competition rather than their ages. The top 2 players then advanced to the main draw and played single-round eliminations to advance to the championships.
Competition drives any sport, so as long as you can get kids out, get them to compete, just the camaraderie, just the fun behind the sport, it gets them really involved and they're really into it.
Player Adrian Sambusiak had a whole lot of fun at the tournament, which is what he says the sport is all about.
Fun so far was me winning the matches. In the semifinals it was really tough, but I ended up winning 4-2. And that's the fun of playing and it's just to have fun.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Soul Sports.
Thanks, Kimberly, and that's your check on sports.